Zoho CRM's interface has completely changed. Now, admittedly, I don't love all of the new changes. Zoho announced Apptics, an application that can be used to analyze the usage of other applications, not to get confused with Zoho Analytics, which we will cover. And now you can filter down multi-select pick list fields in Zoho CRM using different operators, which sounds pretty small, but it's actually a great enhancement and you're going to see why. In this video, we'll be covering all of this and more of Zoho's newsworthy announcements. Now, I'm Drew Brockbank. I'm an official Zoho consulting partner, and I'm the owner of Brockbank Consulting. Zoho's changing fast and it's difficult to learn, so don't forget to like and subscribe for free elite Zoho training and helpful Zoho updates. It's even harder to get the most out of Zoho, so if you'd like to unlock Zoho's full potential for your business, book a free consultation to get the elite expertise that you will need. Zoho for everyone. What on earth is Zoho for everyone? Well, it was an announcement made by Zoho that they were going to completely change the Zoho CRM interface, and now this is being rolled out. So maybe you have the rollout, maybe you haven't. It's going to roll out in phases, but if you go to Zoho CRM, you should have had some kind of prompt if it has been rolled out to your instance to change the interface. And here it is. I'm going to tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it, because there are things I really don't like about this. Okay, so number one, something I do like is the sidebar navigation. I really like this. I can't believe they got away. They moved away from the top navigation. That was like a classic Salesforce thing that I'm sure that they mimicked. Maybe they did it first and Salesforce then did it, but I don't think so. And this top navigation is gone. You don't have to worry about it. And then you can, from this navigation on the left, the sidebar nav, you can just collapse it, which I love. And then you can just hover over here and then you can scroll through all of your modules. So I find that really interesting and I find this helpful. One thing I like about this too, this is a small thing, but I like that there's icons now across all of these, right? So you can just see there's like icons for each of like the base modules. I think that's really neat. And I think that's really smart that Zoho has moved into that. It's a small thing, but it's a cool thing. One thing that's a little confusing is reports and dashboards. Yes, they were separate modules before, but I think that's just still going to be a bit confusing. And in an effort to consolidate, you would have thought that they may have combined these, but they didn't, which is a bit strange. We're going to talk about my requests and team spaces in just a moment. That's another big update. Marketplace and search a record. This is all available on the left sidebar new user interface menu. Okay, so I really like to use shortcuts in Zoho CRM, and I was really glad they kept that because that would have been extremely frustrating. I just love to be able to go to the search. I just do my / hotkey. You can turn on shortcuts and hotkeys for yourself as well. And then I can just scroll through here. And I like the purple. I mean, it's a small thing, but I like it. It's just, it feels new and it feels like they were pretty intentional about the way that they did a lot of these updates. So I appreciate that. Okay, things that I don't like here. So let's talk about the settings. If you go into settings, now everything's sidebar again. It's this addiction to the sidebar menu. I really like the open interface where you go to setup and everything was just right there. Now it disappears. Like, how do you get there? Tell me right now, how do you get to that space or place where you can see all of the different setup options or sections from one place? Well, now you have to scroll through it. You can't see it from one place unless you see here, the sneaky place. Now it pops up, customize setup. You can go here, but this really isn't it. I can't even click into these different things from here. Okay, so that's confusing to me, why they would do this. And then what you have to do is, I mean, basically you use this to rearrange what's going on here. So I don't love that. Zodesk has a similar setup menu thing, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe you guys love this. I don't like it. I think it's confusing. Then you have to search for it. And then what? If you collapse some, you're going to forget where the settings is. And you're going to be like, where's that menu thing that the blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to forget. So I don't love that part. I miss being able to go to an interface that looks like this, see all of the setup sections from one place so that I could go where I need to go. Because guess what? This is what I've been doing for years. Maybe it's because I'm an old dog and I can't be taught new tricks, but this is strange to me. I'm going to be honest, it's strange to me and I don't love it. Okay, let's talk about the big thing here too, surrounding team spaces. If you don't know what team spaces are, it's because it's new, but it's essentially a web tab. So if we go over to the modules, what you used to have is the ability to add web tabs. If I go to the Zoho One interface, this is actually going to make a lot more sense. And Zoho One also has the Zoho CRM for Everyone workspace included in it as well. Okay, so just as an example, if we look here at CRM team space, okay, we're in the Zoho One interface, right? They have the sidebar nav, and now it's sidebar against sidebar, okay, with some differences here between reports and analytics, which is really funny and kind of weird. But essentially what they did is you see modules, reports, analytics, my request, marketplace. If we go over to the CRM, you can see modules, reports, analytics, my request, marketplace. Okay, so they just put what was right here and they just moved it to the top so that they didn't have 3 sidebar menus inside of Zoho One, right? Now there's just 2, which is still kind of but you get the idea. So previously you were able to add these things. These are called web tabs. And essentially you would consolidate the tabs, what used to be the top navigation. You now have, you were able to customize the tabs that showed in the top navigation via web tabs. Now it's called team spaces and it's a little more advanced. So to go back to the CRM interface, essentially what you're doing here is you're saying, hey, if I add a new team space, I'm saying I want these modules to be available. These ones here, all my different modules, I want to select which modules are going to be available to certain people. I'm going to customize that. And then I'm going to choose a fancy logo for it, whatever it's going to look like. And then I'm going to make it look interesting. And then you get to select the users that would have access to that specific team space. So it just allows for further customization of everyone's access to different modules inside of Zoho CRM. I think it's strange though. I don't see the giant need or the glaring need for team spaces when you have roles in profiles to give access as well. But hey, maybe this was a highly requested feature that I had just never heard of from my clients. But I don't think web tabs was broken, so I'm not sure why it had to be fixed with team spaces. Here's the other thing that I think is strange. So if I cancel out of here, and then I go to this My Request, you have not been added as a requester for a team module. Once a team module admin or organization admin adds you as a requester in any team module, you can add requests. I think this is so weird. Now there's a permission so that if I want access to different team spaces, I have to then be added as a requester. I just think that's bizarre. I think this is overly complicated, and I like the way that things were before, and I'm not sure why this change occurred. It's not a deal breaker. I just think it's weird, and that's my opinion. I think that those things are still odd. So for me, I'm glad shortcuts still work. I use that quite a bit, and the things that I do like is a sidebar interface. That's cool. I mean, it's simpler. It gives me pipe drive vibes. It also gives me Bigin vibes, which Bigin is pretty much, if you don't know, Bigin is the simple Zoho CRM that you can use, but has a lot less features, but has a more sleek interface. But who cares? Like, you're in this for capability. You're not in it just so it looks nice, right? Maybe you are at first, but then you'll grow out of it and you'll be like, I wish I started with Zoho CRM. So most people just go there because they're going to end up there anyways. So that's what I do like is it has the sidebar interface, but what I don't like the team space stuff. I don't like the new setup menu. I think that's weird. But there are some cool things about this, and I'm sure it's just going to get better. So I wouldn't freak out if you're like, oh my gosh, everything's broken. Zoho CRM completely changed. I don't want to use it anymore. Still use it. They're going to make updates. It's going to get better. It's going to be a little bit to get used to, but then you'll understand the kind of the benefits of the new UX, and I think you'll end up liking it. Same thing happened whenever they went to the Zoho One unified user interface. Everyone freaked out about the sidebar. They hated it. And now a lot of people like it. I love it. And it just makes your life easier. So I think if we give Zoho a chance here, they're going to make this work and they're going to fix up some of the stuff. Okay, next thing here, Zoho Apptics, the all-in-one application analytics solution. So if you have an application, okay, so if you've created a custom application, mobile application, and you want to track how people are interacting with this application that you've created, that's when you'd use Zoho Apptics. If you don't already know, there's another application that Zoho offers called Zoho Analytics. That's what's referred to as a BI tool, BI standing for business intelligence. So the nice thing about a business intelligence tool is you can grab data from multiple different data sources. It gets confusing because I'm going to say application again, and you're like, well, didn't you say Apptics was application? If you built your own custom application, use Apptics to see how people interacted with different pages. If you want to see information from applications like Zoho CRM or Zoho campaigns or different Zoho apps, or even, QuickBooks, you can use Zoho Analytics to report on that data. So Zoho Apptics does not replace Zoho Analytics, just in case there's confusion. When I initially saw this, the reason I'm going over this is when I initially saw this, I thought to myself, don't we have Zoho Analytics? And you can actually, this is where it gets even more confusing, but it's good to understand. Zoho Analytics could report on your custom application if it had an API and you can push information through to Zoho Analytics. But Zoho Apptics is just a specific solution to report on application analytics. Okay. So just to give you an understanding, even a further understanding of analytics, we're going to go through this. So you can see Zoho Apptics. Okay. Growth, engagement, app usage, adoption, performance. If you are providing an application as a service, right? Software as a service, and you are relying on people consistently logging in and interacting with your application the best way possible. And the only way to continually enhance the application is to get reports on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. So you can change what you're doing wrong. You can double down on what you're doing right. So the way that you would do that is through Zoho Apptics. Okay. And you'll initially set up a software development kit. That's what SDK means. And then it says here, and I don't know if I ever agree with this, hardly 15 minutes to get started. Yeah, it doesn't ever really work that way with software, but okay, we'll take your word for it. Complete SDK integration. You can see here's kind of a tidbit into the Zoho Apptics interface that shows you in-app feedback, store reviews, performance metrics, crashes, non-fatal, simples and mapping, remote logger, in-app updates, in-app ratings, remote configuration, cross-promote. There's a lot here to give you an idea of what's happening in the application that you've created, right? And you can see here, Apple, Google. Okay, so that is Zoho Apptics. Be sure to check that out if you have your own application that you've created and you want to start reporting on it. Now filter your records by multi-select. Pick list values from a dropdown with additional operators. So if you're not familiar with what's going on here inside of Zoho CRM, previously it was kind of hard to filter records down in the filter view. I'll show it to you here. What was tough previously is if you went into a module and you use this filter and you had a multi-select pick list. Let's just say scoring rules was a multi-select pick list, or any of these was a multi-select pick list. It used to be that when you click on it to filter, it's better to show you, you weren't allowed to use these operators and you didn't have, like how I'm clicking here, this is a good example. It used to be that you didn't get a drop down. Now with this new announcement, you will actually get a drop down of the various options in the pick list field. Okay. And then you'll be able to use operators such as this one, right? These are different operators you can use for filtration of the records. Now you can actually do that. So that wasn't available before. And that might be something that you're like, I didn't even know that existed. I don't care. It is helpful over time, especially as you have more and more fields to track more and more things, to grab more data. You're going to want something like this, especially to filter down your records. So I find this super helpful. Here's a gift to help you understand the update better. So when someone types something in, food, oh, this is kind of funny. Watch this. Okay, so now the options appear. That's the first thing. And then they can use is in the different operators. So that's what's helpful. There's new operators. Yeah, where is this? Do they have one where they type in like ass and it's like pulls up assessment or something? You know, I better show it or I'm going to seem absolutely crazy. Yep, here we go. See, ass. Assistance requirement. Cool. So that's the thing to understand here is now there are new operators that you can use. Include all, includes any, excludes all, excludes any. So because it now has that pick list dropdown that you can select from, that's what allows you to do the includes all, includes any, excludes all, excludes any. Maybe this means nothing to you. It is helpful from an end user standpoint. If you're living in the CRM, you probably already noticed this is like a glaring issue with pick list filtering. Okay. Updates to accessibility controls in our help desk. Hello, everyone. Accessibility controls in Zoho Desk are essential tools designed to ensure that agents of all abilities can effectively engage with our platform. These controls play a crucial role in removing barriers and providing a seamless experience for users who may have specific needs or requirements. Streamlined accessibility controls. We've structured the options under accessibility controls into 4 distinct sections: vision, hearing, mobility, and learning. Okay, this reorganization brings in relevance and aligns the controls so that it's easier to find the settings and adjust them according to your needs. Okay, so some reorganization there, and now you get this focus ring as well. So you have different accessibility enhancements that you can enable inside of Zoho. So nice to have those here as well. All right, Indeed has retired support for organic free job posting. This is crazy. Dear Zoho Recruit users, due to a policy change by Indeed, right? So Indeed's always had this issue, by the way, when using Zoho Recruit and trying to port it over as a job board so that you could push out to Indeed. They've always had these issues with pushing over to Indeed. And it's, people get frustrated and they're like, Zoho Recruit doesn't work. No, Indeed is being a little, they're putting up walls on their side and they're not really resolving them. And this is crazy now that Indeed has retired support for organic free job posting. So organic job posting support for staffing agencies is no longer available in all regions except Japan. Keep in mind that corporate HR edition accounts will not be impacted by this change. Okay. Impact on Zoho Recruit users. Indeed's policy change will result in the following changes. Users will no longer be able to post jobs to Indeed Organic. The Indeed Organic job board will be removed from all staffing agency edition accounts. Moving forward, to continue leveraging Indeed's vast reach for your staffing needs, we recommend using the Indeed sponsored job board. The paid option, gosh, now you got to go pay that. It's just such a bummer. Allows you to target qualified candidates and gain greater visibility. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. Money grab. This is unacceptable. This is critical. Everyone's freaking out. Yeah, it's frustrating. And it's Indeed's fault. So nothing we can do on the Zoho side to resolve that. New system fields in Zoho contracts. If you're a Zoho contracts user, and if you're gonna find this important if you're a Zoho contracts user. If you don't know what Zoho contracts is, it's essentially like Zoho Sign. Zoho Sign is like DocuSign. You can send out a document, collect a signature, except Zoho contracts allows you to have the negotiation. It enables you on the negotiation front much better. Let me just check my mic here. It allows you much greater flexibility on negotiation. So people can like highlight certain sections and then comment and say, we got to take this clause out. Zoho Sign, it's not as good for the negotiation front. If you were to send a contract, which you can send a contract out with Zoho Sign, but if you're constantly having like long negotiations, you're going to want to use something like Zoho contracts instead. It's a newer application than Zoho Sign, but it's getting more and more robust. Think about it this way. If you don't know about Zoho contracts, it's like Zoho Sign and Zoho Writer had a baby, and you can basically just comment within a document, remove different sections, and have better collaboration and negotiation when you're selling something or you're just trying to get a negotiation through. Okay, new system fields in Zoho contracts. Here are the new system fields. There's quite a bit. Party A contact name, party job title. And so these are the default different system fields that you can now take advantage of within Zoho contracts. Zoho Thrive has a new look. Hello, Zoho Thrive users. We are delighted to announce the debut of Zoho Thrive's new and enhanced user interface. With the revamped design, we have focused on delivering a quicker experience to set up and run the affiliate and customer loyalty program. So if you don't know anything about Thrive, it's essentially the application that you can use that Zoho provides to help you run your affiliate and customer loyalty programs. Okay, so if you have an affiliate program, you have a customer loyalty program, use Zoho Thrive. If you're already in the Zoho interface, why not take advantage of this application? Stay in the same interface, try to stay on the same platform. If you can, it makes your life easier. It's in your best self-interest. Here's a quick look at the major changes you'll find with a new UI. Distinct modules for affiliate and loyalty programs. Review tasks are now part of the points program. Gosh, this looks like ChatGPT generated it, right? It's like got this, semicolon, move forward. It's just funny. Review tasks are now part of the points program. Dedicated views for reviews and testimonials. Cool. So those are the new updates there for Zoho Thrive. Making the resolution tab mandatory. Hello, everyone. And this is for Zoho Desk, by the way. This addition is here to show you how to make the resolution mandatory when closing a ticket. The ticket resolution tab helps keep a record of the solution provided for the ticket query. The resolution can serve as a quick reference to see the solution, saving the daunting task. So daunting. This is the most daunting first world problem you can have of scrolling through the entire conversation thread in the ticket. Zilker Medcare offers online, so this is a use case for you. It's going to help. Because what we've said so far, right? It's like making the resolution tab mandatory. What does that even mean? This will give us some clarity. This will make it a little more high res. Zilker Medcare now offers online medical consultation for patients. The doctor at the firm provides consultations to patients through calls, chats, and emails. Each patient query is logged into Zoho Desk as a ticket. After the consultation concludes, the doctor closes the ticket. Zilker Medcare prefers to maintain a record of the prescriptions provided. The admin utilizes the resolution tab in the ticket to document the recommendations and prescriptions made by the doctor. However, the admin prefers to enforce the resolution tab as mandatory when the doctor closes the ticket. How can this be achieved? The resolution tab can be made mandatory through a simple layout rule. Here's the steps to implement it. Go to setup, choose, and here's a GIF showing us. Go to setup, you type in you create a new layout rule, you name it, you add your description, you choose your primary field. You guys are probably familiar if you use workflow rules or layout rules in the past. It's pretty much the exact same thing. Now you'll just have click on trigger an action and set mandatory fields, and select resolution. Okay, so now you can add a filter if you want. That'd be helpful. And then you'll see here, there's basically a new trigger action. If you select mandatory fields, you'll be able to go here, find resolution. So for those of you who wanted to enforce the resolution tab or make it mandatory, you now have that ability inside of Zoho Desk. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching this Zoho news video. If you are trying to learn Zoho and you're looking for another free resource outside of what I have here on YouTube, I offer Z Training. It's a free training, completely free. It's going to stay free forever, where I help you understand exactly how to become a power user in Zoho. It's just more structured what you're seeing here. I've got long videos here, but that is a training program that I highly recommend so that you can understand how to use Zoho in the best way possible. And it's free. You can give it to all of your team for free. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.